Good evening. I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching. It is appreciated as always. There's varying reports to Katie Hopkins currently whether she's actually been arrested or not. I'm going to play a video that Katie's posted today in a minute or two. First of all, we've had Stephen Miller come out and say this. Katie Hopkins arrested and may face prison. Katie Hopkins has been interviewed under caution in relation to her live broadcast of Katie's Arms. She explained she was arrested for online communications, crime of speech, and waiting to be charged. We're going to dive into that in a minute or two, and I'm sure this has got absolutely nothing to do with the fact that she's right of centre. She supports Tommy Robinson, and she was at his recent Unite the Kingdom rally. I'm sure it's completely coincidental that all this is happening now. She's been a vocal supporter of Tommy for quite some time, so even if the date of the arrest or the interview predated the appearance at the Unite the Kingdom rally, it's pretty clear what they're doing. If you're outside the regime and you've got a substantial following, look at Graham Lynham recently, and now you look at Katie Hopkins. The process is the punishment. They want people to be afraid. They don't want people to exercise their free speech. And they want people to be second-guessing themselves all the time. So, is this legal? Is this lawful? Rule of thumb, as I've always said, if you think you are innocent, the likelihood is a jury of your peers will think you're innocent as well. Always remember that. Never plead guilty. Never give them what they want. I cannot stress that enough. I think this is because she's high profile and it's to send a message to people like me and other YouTubers and other people that dare to speak out. Don't do it, this is what awaits you. This is my opinion. As always, your mileage may vary on that point. Without further ado, let's listen to what Katie has to say in her own words. I don't want to put words in her mouth. I'll leave that to my thumbnail.
Tuesday the 5th of August here at Exeter Police Station, and I, Katie Hopkins, state as follows. I have attended this interview under protest as I was threatened with arrest if I did not attend. I consider this interview and the police investigation to be an unlawful interference with my right to freedom of expression pursuant to Article 10 ECHR Human Rights Act 1998. I reserve my position in respect of any actions I choose to take, including but not limited to a formal complaint and claim for damages against Devon and Cornwall Police. I run a comedy podcast called The Katie's Arms, live on my Instagram at 8 p.m. on Fridays for 30 minutes. I started The Katie's Arms.
I can never take a police siren seriously anymore. Whenever I hear one, I burst out laughing. I think they're going to arrest somebody or knock on someone's door for a tweet or something they may have said online. So I'll never take the sirens seriously anymore. They're a big joke. The police are a big joke. Our government is a huge fucking joke. This shouldn't be happening to anybody. Short of incitements, and the bar on incitement to violence should be much higher than it currently is in our country, this should not be happening.
During the idiocy of COVID lockdowns, in order to help people struggling with their mental health, the Katie's Arms is now an international community of people wanting others to live their best life, laughing with me and at me. My audience choose to join me on my Instagram channel live.
I completely agree with this, and I've said the same thing about people on TV and people with YouTube channels like me. When my channel first started, I had some trolls on here saying, "Oh, you better be careful. Damien, you better be careful. You could be inciting, you could be offending people, you might get arrested." I'm like, don't watch. No one's forcing you to watch the channel. If you do not like the content, you do not like being put out, it's the same with anything on TV. Do not watch. We shouldn't have Ofcom. We shouldn't have online censorship like this bull. It's completely anti everything I believe in.
If anyone was offended, that is their choice. I do not republish or upload this content. It is ridiculous that my comedic speech is subject to a criminal investigation, and as such, my presence here is ridiculous.
It's not that at all. Let's be honest about discrediting people. The mainstream try to cancel Katie, and they don't like the fact that she's found I don't know, a second chance at the big time. She goes around and does these comedy shows all around the UK. She does her online channel. They don't like that. When they cancelled her from Polite Society, that was meant to be the end of Katie Hopkins. You weren't meant to see her on TV anymore. You weren't meant to see her on anything anymore. You weren't meant to see her. You're meant to forget she even existed. That's all it is. They want her gone. Because if she's supporting Tommy and other people like that, you may agree with Katie on a lot of things, but the fact that she's putting her neck on the line for Tommy and for us, this is exactly what they want to stop. I've seen some Mark Tory, Tim Stanley, and Camilla Tommy taking the piss out of Katie for going to a Tommy rally and saying, "Oh, is this the best they've got?" Sort of being disdainful and mocking of the people on the rally. And I was like, this is exactly what we're up against. This is disgusting, the way they talk about people. I would never do that. I would never do that. Talking about people like they're a piece of shit. It's absolutely appalling. And then we look on to Ed Davey. Ed Davey. He is a establishment shill. He went on Sky recently talking to Trevor Phillips, who was actually quite fair with the United Kingdom rally. He wants them to go better. He wants the state to go better than arresting Katie. He wants Elon Musk arrested. Let's have a look at this.
To be prosecuted under the Online Safety Act. Are you saying that Elon Musk is a criminal? Yes.
Politician. Straight away, just like Wyvett Cooper last year after the Southport atrocity and subsequent civil disobedience. As the official report clearly stated earlier this year, it wasn't a riot. It really wasn't. He's stating Elon Musk is a criminal without him being even arrested or charged. And he's got a smug grin on his face thinking, yeah, he needs to be. This is exactly the mentality. It's not for him to decide who's guilty or innocent. You're not judge. You're not jury. You're not executioner. You're just a stupid politician. You need to shut up because you're talking complete and utter nonsense.
Not just because of the awful things he's done in inciting violence. And
again, that's your opinion, open to interpretation. My take is he wanted us to fight politically, not inciting violence. That's my take on the matter. Of course, I'm level-headed. I've not got a political agenda to shut down people that don't agree with me. I'd rather win the debate and the argument. But people like you can't win the argument, so you need to shut people up, you need to censor people, you need to silence people, you need to make it illegal or hurtful, simply to protect your delicate worldview, because it's built on sand and it's washing away like the tide. Enjoy.
And for example, he says a civil war in our country is inevitable.
5 or 10 years, I completely agree, the way that we're going. Unvetted, tons of migrants. I'd seen some in my town centre today, sitting around, loitering around, on the new iPhones that we paid for, kitted out in all the new kit and gear. How the hell can they afford that? Me and you are paying for it. That is unfair. That is what we're sick of. That is why this movement is growing. And people like you think you're going to shut us up. Well, think again, sunshine. Never going to happen.
Our democratically elected government should be overthrown. They were bad enough. But on his platform, there are examples of adverts pushing people on self-harm.
Not true, that's been stopped. It may have been under previous leadership. Maybe under Jack Dorsey, before Musk bought X. Maybe there was a problem then. That was one of the things that he done pretty much straight away. Sort that nonsense out, get your facts straight.
On grooming, even selling videos showing paedophile acts.
No, again, that's not true. That's a blatant lie. He stopped all of that when he bought X. You are completely discredited on that.
child sex abuse acts. And I think he should be held to account for them, him personally and his business. Ofcom now have the powers under the Online Safety Act. The question is, I know that's a new act, and maybe we need to give them a little more time, but I personally think they need the encouragement and the support to take on powerful people, and we shouldn't just let powerful people get away with it.
And this is the thing, though, they've got no problem with powerful people like Bill Gates and Larry Fink, who owns BlackRock. They've got no problem with them if they're on their side of the political aisle. The globalists, they're perfectly happy to have as many billionaires as you can shake a stick at. As soon as it's somebody that's not with them, this is what happens. And regular people like me, like you, and other people that may watch this channel can and understand exactly what is going on here. It is disgusting.
And so your message to the Home Secretary is, if Elon Musk happened to land on British territory, arrest him.
Yes.
Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He knows it's not going to happen because he is politically connected. This is the thing. And this is why you can wax lyrical about it, because he's not in a position to affect policy, and Elon Musk is politically connected. Do you really think that our government is going to actually arrest Elon Musk? Do you think any Western government is going to arrest Elon Musk? Nah, not on your life.
Well, the Ofcom, obviously, they're in charge, they're the independent regulator. However,
I've said this before, I'll say this again. On paper, Ofcom may be independent. They are there to enforce the regime. If you speak out of turn and say something slightly spicy, you'll be fined. That is the incentive for you to not put your head above the parapet. That's why GB News gets fined all the time, and yet the BBC can broadcast absolutely disgusting stuff from Glastonbury, and they're not regulated by Ofcom in the same way. The BBC regulate themselves. So again, there's a double standard there, and it's always skewered towards the regime. You will never be given a free hearing, you will never be given a free trial, they'll brand you a criminal, they'll brand you a degenerate before you've even had your day in court. Where's the due impartiality? Where's the fear about maybe prejudicing a jury? Oh no, that's only for ethnic minorities, like the Welsh choir boy who did that to those poor girls last year. That's when you get protected.
Said he's a criminal, so...
I don't think... I'm not the police or...
He's backpedaling now. He doesn't think he's a criminal now. Why? Because there's been no due process. This is the calibre of politician. It is absolutely shocking.
But I believe that standard has been met.
Right, we'll leave that one there. If you think this is anything but trying to frighten people into silence, you are mistaken. Nobody has to click on my channel. Nobody has to click on Past 49's channel. Nobody has to click on Silver Fox's channel. Nobody has to click on Katie Hopkins' channel. Alright? If you don't like what we're putting out, don't watch it. This is the difference. This is the difference between the left and the right, in my particular view. I will win the argument. I will win the debate every single time. I wouldn't call for my political opponents to be arrested because I have common sense. Now, if you like this video and you think I've got something of value, let me know. Share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video later on today. Have a good evening and thank you for watching. It is appreciated as always.